Abby,
Hi.
how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. It's been since September we met each other, right?
Yeah, exactly.
At Stanford.
Yeah. September last week. Yeah, I remember.
My God,
It's
it
been a
was
long time.
it
Yeah.
was like yesterday.
Yeah, true.
The quarter system is
So fast. So fast.
why it's why it's only Stanford that they do that, and some other universities. I
Yeah,
wasn't
I
used
mean,
to.
I think like most of the West Coast universities they have like quarter system, and most of the East Coast have like semester system. But it's also surprising to know that even Berkeley has like a semester system. So
Which one do you prefer?
well, I come from like a semester background, and I used to have like a lot of classes in each semester, and it's pretty long, and the assignments are like not really hectic. But then the best part about quarter system is that you grow a lot every day because there's like too much of load. It's like a lot of practical assignments that you do. You don't have much time, but then you just have to go through it. And then if I had to compare my growth in terms of like semester system or quarter system, I think I've grown a lot in quarter system. Yeah, rather than semester, which is quite surprising to me because I always loved semester because it's like you have a lot of time, you can like, study a lot of things. There is not much load. But then I feel in quarter system, you're pushing yourself way too much. That can bring, I mean, you can also be like really demotivated as well. But then at the same time, if you're going through it, you can, really grow a lot. That's what I think. Yeah.
Do you like to study by yourself, or you like collaboration?
Very interesting questions. Okay, because in my undergrad, I always used to study alone because I feel like I was way productive when I was like studying alone. Maybe it's because of the people that I met around who are like not really into like the topics that I really delve into. But surprisingly, at Stanford, I'm less productive when I'm studying alone. I am more productive when I'm
No
studying in a
way.
group,
Wow.
which is quite interesting to know because whenever, like, especially like we as a group, study together, we discuss various concepts, we solve questions, we end up discussing a lot of other things as well. We finish, the assignments or homeworks or like whatever the practical questions that we do, whether be it like coding or like of softwares or like we model something, we do it really fast in terms of like you doing it alone. So for me, I feel it's always the group that kind of like pushes me, and I was really productive. I think especially last quarter with all those things going on. I think being productivity comes depends on the people around you. Probably it's because everybody was really motivated together, and then in a group it was really nice setting. I was really productive.
What made you choose a school like Stanford to be in? And can you tell us a little bit about how's the story, how you end up here, and what made you come all the way from overseas to study in such a school like that?
Yeah, so I think it was always my dream to like just go out of India, not because I don't like India, but more because I want to explore a lot of places. I love traveling. I love going other places, knowing the culture, knowing different food habits, knowing people. So it's just that like during my high school, I always think about it, and I always thought about myself constructing to like that particular place because I never thought that I had this in me to like go what other people are doing, like going abroad or like doing studies. I never even really thought about it. But all I did in my high school was just like focus on myself. Probably it was just academics that I was like really into. A bit of extracurricular as well. Um, Structural engineering, I'm not really sure why I chose it, how I ended up. It was all like a mystery to me even today because there are a lot of subjects. Even people ask me, why did you choose it? And I can give them like reasons to it, but I don't really have like the real reason, behind it. So I think it was in my high school that I realized that I'm really good at like what I'm doing. For me, learning is a passion. Like I can learn anything, and one thing I really believe in myself is that um, especially like for me, if you give any subject, no matter what subject it is, I can be really good at it. Any subject, yeah. So that's how I really grow. So for me, choosing a subject wasn't that hard because I could choose anything. I can just move on with that, and I'll be really good at it. That's how I envision myself. So whatever I am entering into, I'll be like really good at it.
Well, let me stop you here. So, how did you become such a passionate about learning since from a young age? If someone is watching us now and he is looking to have kids to be someone like passionate like you in terms of learning and being passionate about knowledge seeking, what are the strategies that you've been taking
Mm-hmm.
throughout your middle school and high school and college, and you to be such a passionate learner like that?
Very interesting question. I'd say from childhood it was so like for me like I have my younger brother with me. I have my family. Although my parents didn't have much exposure to what I have right now, if I just had to like look back around, I'd say like I really did a good job in my high school, and the reason behind it would be like motivation. Like there was not a single day I felt like I didn't have the motivation in me.
Which high school?
So high school in like in India, like I did my from first to like 12th standard, I was like in a Kendra Vidyalaya school, which is like a central government school, and over there it's really surprising because we have like state schools in India, and we also have like central schools, like central board of education schools, like where that particular school had like people from pretty much all over the state, all over the country. To be honest, like we have.
Is that a special school?
It's not a special school, but then lost a lot of the government employees, sons and daughters, they study in that particular school. And since my dad was also in the government service, he like I eventually joined that school. And in that particular, for example, in my class setup, you find like a lot of people speaking Hindi, a lot of people speaking Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada. Like it's like all. So it's pretty much like what you find in like Stanford, like people from different countries together, right? So in India, since it's a diverse country, you also find people from like different states. And one question people ask me is like, how do you know so many languages? Like,
how many languages do you know?
Okay, I speak Hindi, I speak Tamil, Malayalam, English. I learned Deutsch in my high school, and then I can understand a lot of other languages like Telugu, Kannada. I was born in Karnataka, so
we're talking about 9, 10 languages now.
Yeah, not that much, but I can understand. For example, Hindi and Urdu is pretty much the same. So I can when people speak to me in Urdu, I understand. I reply them back in Hindi. So it's for me like languages was never a barrier. Like, and I think even in school or even in like in my undergrad, I was always like more like a translator in my school. Wow. Yeah, so it's really surprising because I feel, yeah, one of the thing that one of my professors said is that the more languages you know, the more personalities you have. Wow. And I can vouch for that because the more, like for example, right now I'm speaking English, which means I have like a different personality, you know. And when I speak with my mother tongue, and if you ask them about me, you will have like a different opinion about like, you know, as a person you have a different opinion, and you'd see, oh, is that really Abhy, you know, does he like really do that, you know? They have like a totally different opinion about things just because of the language that they speak. So language definitely has like a huge influence. You know, but coming back to like what you asked about like what made me a person I am right now in terms of like the motivation stuff, yes, definitely it's the people I met in my high school. Not being distracted much, knowing like what my actual, because it always.
Did you have your goal set up since your middle school and high school?
This is a funny story because I always wanted to become an astronaut.
Wow.
Yeah, it's because till now, you know, that hasn't changed. It's because I love space. I love space. I can, you know, I always used to tell my parents like, I'll become an astronaut. I'll go to moon. I'll go to Mars. You know, I'll be there. I'll be there. But then my mom used to take it so seriously that she's like, no, you're not going. You're not going there. But okay, so when I was like in sixth grade, I had like a eye problem. Like my power started like reducing. I had like myopia, and I didn't like. I used to wear specs, and then I was like so enthused about like becoming an astronaut that I searched in Google like the requirements when I was in sixth grade, and then they said that you should have like perfect eye conditions, and I was like shit no, so I can't do that now. So that's when I realized that okay, maybe just because of like my physical conditions, I won't be able to like pursue that. But then after all these years, I just realized that I came back to like my eye condition is normal right now, which is quite rare. Not many people get back their eye condition on 6 on 6 like in the test. But right now I can't go back and become an astronaut because I've already. I mean, I can maybe, but right now I've done all the education for like a particular subject that I'm also passionate about. So it's not easy to go back, right? But yeah, it all started with me becoming an astronaut, and then later a lot of influence from my family becoming like a doctor or someone. Because in India, the thing is that once you graduate, as like once you like pass your high school, you have like two options: either engineer or doctor.
Wow.
Yeah, so you had to choose either one because they consider like all the smart people who score like really good marks, they are like well apt for becoming like an engineer or like a doctor. And I hate biology. I'm not really good at biology, so I chose engineering because I feel like my strong cups are like maths and physics, and I could really solve any. Even for example, I remember like I used to have like the small gang in my high school where we solved like very difficult physics questions, and then we were
Wow,
like
gang who solve physics questions.
yeah, so we always sit in the back bench just because we don't get distracted with the. So usually they have like a concept saying that like only the the fun guys sit on the back bench who doesn't like really attend the classes, and then who bunk classes, who just there for chilling and purposes. But surprisingly, it worked really different for me. Like me and my best friend, we used to like sit in the back bench, and then we used to solve physics questions, like super hard physics questions. And then even the teacher wouldn't like come to like they usually go for rounds and stuff like whenever they're teaching. They never really bothered us because they knew we'll be doing some different shit together. So yeah, towards the end, it's just like, and it's pretty like interesting problems. Like, do you know how much energy you lose when you like cut your hair? And then there was like questions like that, and that energy you remove it can also like build up so much other energy because there is like a small change in mass and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. That kind of like excited me a lot in terms of like what I'm doing.
Tell me some problem that you like.
Okay, one problem which is still there in my mind is about, do you know this Einstein's equation equal to delta m into c square? So for example, you have a body weight, right? You have like a mass, and example, now you cut your hair. The mass of the hair is very small, right? But then so the delta m is just will be your mass of the hair, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so
the difference,
it'll be very small. But if you multiply it with the speed of light into the square of it,
which the speed of light is?
3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. So if you square it, it's going to become a big number.
Wow.
So we always thought that even a small change in mass, that you do it in like a vacuum space, and probably with a lot of assumptions and all, because physics always has assumptions in it. But then the energy is really high just by reducing a small, for example, just cutting your hair. So questions like that really like intrigued me, and I always like thought about it. So I was like, so there are like a lot of gaps in the the world that is like a mystery, and you are here to like solve it. I always like solving things.
Do you like the fourth dimensions? Do you like to study that and the space and?
I really love like getting into like
black holes.
Yeah, white holes, connecting those planes. These always excited me a lot.
Do you watch space movies?
I do. Like
which one is your favorite?
Interstellar, all time.
God,
it's so good. Yeah, the way they have portrayed it. It's also, there was like I think I read it somewhere saying that the black hole that they kind of like showed in the, it's like very similar to what they actually captured recently from the NASA. They had a image of that,
Yep.
which was very surprising. And then
I still remember in the physics class where they pull a big sheet, they pull it from
they
forward,
close it.
and then they keep a big ball in the middle, and then they start throwing small balls, and how the balls is moving.
Yeah.
And this is how the black hole is.
Yeah, I also saw a couple of like lectures where for explaining black holes, they have a paper and they say that this is black hole. You just close the paper, and then from here to here you just move. But then there's like another around. This is also a way, and this is also a way.
Yep.
So it's like I think it's a white hole or something. So they kind of like explain these concepts in this way, which.
And that's the time too. There is a time involved.
The space and time just gets like,
squished all together.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really interesting. Although I'm not pursuing that right now, which is really funny.
What are you pursuing?
Well, okay, right now I'm like doing masters in structural engineering, so which is pretty different from the space and things like that. But it's also like, so I just realized that there are a lot of topics that you're interested in. You can always do that, but in terms of like career wise, you choose one and then you move forward with it. So there is nothing wrong in like doing that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what are you gonna do after that?
Interesting question. So for now, like I'm always keeping my options open, like about like things I really wanted to pursue. It's just because I'm interested in so many things right now, like so many things that I really don't want to choose one particular thing and just settle for that. Probably I want to help people around. I want to like move this like what we call as like the evolution of like humans, the faces. Right now we have like all these technology advancements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I want to be like a small part in that advancement. In terms of, for example, what I'm doing, being like a structural engineer, building like a structure, maybe bridges or buildings or something like that, which could like eventually help the humanity in some way, is something I'm really rooting for. Maybe I'd also like start like a business or something, which I'm like really passionate about in terms of helping these things. Because there is like a lot of gap in the market. So that's what I'm like really, keeping my options open, but something I'm really interested in to like jump into.
Since you came here to Stanford, what is the most thing you like about the school and the campus and the people?
Okay. So every day I wake up here, I feel so motivated because it's like imagine like you are collecting all amazing, intelligent, smart, all a like bunch of people together in a particular city, like into a bubble, and then you have like their own civilization, in terms of that particular aspect, you feel like you're growing a lot on a very daily basis. For example, I can definitely vouch for the fact that I am so much better than yesterday. Wow. Right now I'm so much better than yesterday. Be it like in terms of people I meet, in terms of conversation, a random conversation we have right now. For example, even today, it's amazing to like have this, sort of feeling about you also thinking about what's happening. Every day over here, I think from September, like
it's a benchmark.
Yeah, it's a benchmark. Like if I have to like have like a trajectory of my, life, from September, it's just this, it just goes up, the tangent is like so high. So yeah, that is one thing I really liked about. And I also love the fact that people at Stanford are really open to like a lot of things. They're not like very particular about, about the way they think. I don't know how Stanford selects students, but they're amazing. They're really good at it. They really know. I don't know from the essays or like the things that, the scores, they find that particular quality in those people. All put together, they do like amazing, talks, amazing thought processes that we have. And at some level, I feel there is like a similarity between all of us. There is a drive in like each one of us to like grow, to like do something in the world. That put all together just motivates. For me, it's very hard to find motivation in like a general life. There are a lot of people I know, like after 25, they just want to go to work. They just want to go to family and then sleep. Wake up, go to work. They don't have like any motivation in themselves. and we have to realize that we have just one life, and then you have to do something in that one life so people recognize you, people you feel happy about what you're doing.
There is that conception about being an engineer. They are very individualism people, where they like to be with themselves when they are working, when they are like accomplishing a lot of tasks. But I feel like the school here in Stanford, it motivates you to be collaborative with your colleagues, with the people that they are from different disciplines. Um, do you and I see you are you have that such an amazing personality. Is that Stanford has an effect on that, or were you like that before?
Um, so it might be really weird if I say this. It might sound like I'm bragging a lot, but
No.
before applying to Stanford, somehow I knew I'm like a Stanford material, you know?
Wow.
Because I that's why even applying to like universities, I just applied to like 2 or 3 universities. Because I know that I kind of understood what Stanford is looking for, and Stanford, more than like me wanting Stanford, I feel like even Stanford wants people like me, or like in general, like the way I like think, because it's very difficult to like meet people of the same thought process, because I couldn't find anyone even in my school or in my undergrad who think the same way I think the same way I do. So over here, I felt so happy because I could really, convey my thought processes, what's happening, about people are really interested to listen as well. Usually, it's just that I talk and people just be like, okay, we don't get that, But over here, people are like really listening. People really put their opinions and then make things like grow forward, be it like a small tiny aspect of design, or like aspect of, for example, even like life, we have like a lot of thing about why life, what was the purpose of life and things like that. It really helps you like condensing all the information and then moving forward. So for me, even before applying to Stanford, I kind of got to know that, okay, maybe I'm best when I am here, like I should be here at this point of time. So that's how I like applied to Stanford. And it's and I wasn't like really surprised also in terms of when I got the admit, because somehow I just know that I was like, after I applied to Stanford, okay, I'm going there, let me start packing, I'm doing all those things. And then I got my admit, especially I think that was the time when I was working in my previous company, and it was on Valentine's Day. So that's the best Valentine gift I've ever got for that particular year. So it's amazing. It's amazing to like see like my application processes for getting into Stanford.
Wow. Where is home?
Yeah. So my parents are actually from Kerala. But I did all my schooling in Chennai, which is in Tamil Nadu, which is like a small, not a small state, it's a big state in South. And I did my entire schooling there. So yeah,
This is like by Bangalore and those countries.
Oh yeah, it's below Bangalore actually. So we in South we have like pretty much southern states we call Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and then I come from Tamil Nadu, which is towards the south and towards the east. So somewhere bottom right, and the place where I'm from is Chennai, where I did my schooling, and pretty much I lived my whole life there. It's towards the coast actually. And it was really amazing time over there. Like have a lot of friends, had a amazing lifestyle. So that's exactly where I am coming. We have like a home there, so we come from there. Yeah.
Wow. Do you miss your food, hometown food?
Yes, I do. Who doesn't miss their home food? Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Oh, okay. So my all-time favorite is like chicken biryani. It's like a rice and chicken. They marinate it together. They have like their own Indian spices like pepper, things like that. And okay, my mouth is watery at the same time, but it's the best food I can eat that like pretty much every day. Like that's so good. It's a really flavored texture of like all the spices together with rice and chicken. So that's something I really love.
The Indian food really focuses on a huge amount of spices that
Exactly.
they are inputting into the food.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
I think Okay, because for me, I can't like digest any food without spice in it. Yeah, because spice is like a must thing. Like for example, you need to have like a blend of like chili, salt, and then pepper, and then a lot of turmeric, and all these flavors. And it's supposedly supposed to be like very healthy, spice because, for example, even there is a spice it's called turmeric, and it's a yellow in color. And even if you have, for example, even if you have like some sort of like a scratch or something in your body, they apply these spice on the body and gets all right. So it's really a healthy beneficial spice, and it's also good to like eat all those things, and it gives you like a good flavor. Because have you smelled Indian curries?
Oh my God, yes.
It smells so good because of the spice in it. So I think it's just like a tradition that's been having in India, and also a lot of spice are grown in India, pretty much like a lot. Yeah. So
Did you travel somewhere else besides America and India?
I did. Okay, so I think it all started in my undergrad, because I was like a pure introverted guy in my like undergrad until my second year, and in third year, I think due to my academic qualifications, I was funded a complete internship in Canada, in Toronto. So I was there for 3 months. Did like an amazing research project based on like corrosion of steel, and then at higher temperatures, climate change, and stuff like that.
Was it in a school or?
Oh yeah, it was from University of Toronto.
Wow.
Yeah, and they have their own laboratory. It was amazing. Had like amazing time there. We did quality research. We did visit a couple of companies there.
Did you guys publish any?
I think the project is still ongoing. One of the research scholar is still working on it. It's like a long project because they are curing like so especially what they do in the project is they have like this alternate reinforcements for instead of steel, such as glass fiber reinforced polymer, and they embed into the concrete. They do the testing at higher temperatures, and they test whether this will sustain or not. So they are having like a replacement for steel in terms of corrosion aspects.
And they are using glass fiber, isn't it?
They're using glass fiber reinforced polymer. They also use basalt fiber. So we were having like a comparison between steel, GFRP, and basalt fiber. Basalt fiber reinforced polymer.
What is the basalt fiber?
So it's pretty much like instead of like glass fiber, they use the basalt material into the components. So it gives you like another set of like strength, porosity characteristics, and stuff like that. So the important aspect is because the climate change is happening so fast, especially in US and in North American continents. We were like testing everything for a marine structures at like 60 degrees Celsius. So we literally heated the entire tank up to like it was hot water. The curing happened in hot water, and then we took it out. We tested it.
The curing of the concrete, you mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
And do you guys break it every 7, 28, and
7, 28, even 1 year as well. So that's why it's a long project.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was there when it happened for like 3 months. They cured it for 3 months, and then I was there in the testing procedures. And it's not like a tiny thing; it's a huge concrete. So we had to carry it through like certain equipments, and then we had to place it, and then we had to test it. So each testing will take you at least like 2 days.
Is it tensile or?
Yeah, it's a compressive test, and then we could always see the cup cone, the shapes, and then we after the test we cut the entire concrete into segments. We also use NMR to like see the pores, and then spectroscopy and stuff like that to understand what is happening inside the concrete and the steel. How is the relation? How is the bond? And how to improve those things, and the major material parameters and stuff like that.
Did you follow the results of this research?
Since it was just like a 3-month internship and it's a very big project, I was able to be a small part of it, and I'm really glad I was there because I got like a good exposure about it. Apparently, the research is still going on.
Wow.
One thing that really struck me was when I had this conversation with my professor over there.
Who's the professor?
So he's from Pakistan. His name is Shamim Sheikh, and he was the one who selected me for the internship. And then he has this way of thinking where he says that the steel recently came, like it just like got very popular like last 100 years, right? He says that if people would have already known about GFRP way before steel, now the entire construction would be like with GFRP.
Yep.
Yeah. Just because people started with something which is steel, entire world is like just using that.
The amount of research that's been happening on the steel and the concrete, other construction material cannot reach to this amount.
Exactly.
So that's why I feel like they are still using these two main construction material. To be able to approve another construction material, it's gonna take you a while.
Exactly.
Another
True.
100 years.
So that's why he said that just because people have been using a lot and they just don't, they just have like this mentality, they just don't want to switch. Very similar to career. You are doing like career for like 30 years. Now you don't want to like switch, you know. So that's what's happening. And he also says it's upon like the new people who are coming, who are doing research, should like push this forward, because there's a lot of better materials in the world that you could use, like, you know, for sustainability and things like that. So it's good to like have those exposure. And I think after Toronto, I went back to India, continued my studies, and the next
That
year
was during your undergrad.
yeah, in my
Wow.
third year. And it's a good thing that I didn't have to like spend anything. It was all sponsored.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Such a great opportunity
Exactly.
to move to overseas for an internship.
Yeah, so that was my first international you know, travel that I had from India. And I always to be honest, like at that particular time I also got like a fully funded in Germany, but it's just because of the clashes that I had with the time, I had to choose one, either Germany or Toronto.
Wow.
And I think the project they were doing in Germany was artificial intelligence in construction.
Wow.
So they were using 3D printing and using a lot of things. Although I was really interested in the topic, I couldn't go there because of the time clash. I tried really hard to manage both, but it was really hard.
Was it in English?
Yes, it was in English, but it was under like a Deutsch professor. It was a German professor. So there was a PhD scholar who was working on it, and he really needed help in those particular aspects. And it was funded by DAD, which is like a German and Indian association sort of thing. So this Canadian one was sponsored by My Tax. It's like a Canadian organization which was doing it. Yeah, so this was happening in my life in third year.
Did you apply though to those programs separately, or where there is a career where there are career fair at school that you submit your resume to?
Oh no, it was applied separately apart from So
and how did you knew about these things, especially if you are all the way in India? Like, how much research did you done to yourself? Did you have a mentor, or who was guiding you with this kind of process?
Oh, I think I didn't have like a fixed mentor who could like really help me go through it. But then I'd say LinkedIn. I used to like stalk a lot of people. I'm really good at stalking, especially when they have like all their information out. I'm like really good at like stalking people. So I really made my connections really well in my first and second year. And then there were like a couple of seniors in my high school undergrad who went to these couple of internship programs. And who doesn't get excited to go for another country for free? Exactly. So that kind of started me motivating, and then I started loving the project, and then that's how I really went towards it. So there were like a couple of mentors in terms of like my seniors who really helped me through the application processes, to share the information, because not really many people know about these opportunities. There are tons of opportunities around the world. It's just that one has to like put an effort to like just go through it, read it, research about it, and apply towards it. And one best thing that happened was in my final year. Usually many people, what they do is like once they graduate, they just stop. They start looking for jobs and think about the next step. But I was the only person in my undergrad who after graduating did another internship, fully funded in another country.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are the one who did that?
Yeah, I think nobody really knew that people could do after fourth year.
Yeah.
But there is like this scholarship, fully funded scholarship, where they send you to France to do another research project.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was a part of that. Gladly, I became like a part of that, and then even my professor funded me again apart from this in order to conduct the research. And it
What
was
was the research?
yeah, so the research, it was about cementitious materials. So since like 1 ton of cement produces 1 ton of carbon dioxide, the emission increase of greenhouse
Like
gas.
fly ash.
Exactly,
A
exactly.
byproduct or
No, just
cementitious?
the product of making a cement.
Yeah.
Like if you want to make 1 ton of cement, 1 ton of carbon dioxide is emitted, which is not good for the earth. So they were looking for another alternates for instead of cement. So it's fun that.
By the way, just to let
Yeah.
you
Uh-huh.
the people who is watching, cement is one of the main materials for the concrete. To
Yeah.
make sure that it gets all the chemical reaction to harden this material.
True. I remember Professor Kyle at Stanford. He says that the most consumed material is water, and the second one is like concrete, which is made of like cement and water again. So
and what is the number one product or the thing that consume water? Is also concrete.
Also concrete, yeah, exactly.
Concrete is number one water consumption in the world,
Exactly.
and then we use it after that.
Yeah, so it's like people don't realize it's one of the most important material in the world.
And it's crazy that the concrete only works for drinking water.
Exactly.
I only knew that back in third year in college.
Yeah,
we were doing a lab experiment, and then we were testing the concrete strength between when you mix it with drinking water or undrinkable water.
Yeah.
It was
an interesting, experience.
Yeah, continue about the research and.
Yeah, so instead of like cement, they were like planning to use other cementitious materials that you can use for it. So there is like this material, we call it as like geopolymer, and a material called alkali activated material. So it has like metakaolin in it. It's like a compound. Because right now we know cement, so we are familiar with the term. This is another compound which people are not familiar with, but this compound exists in the world. So
which is the
metakaolin.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we were trying to like put 75% of metakaolin and 25% of cement. We made a compound. We made like that cylinder test. We were testing what is the strength of this particular mix. Then we did with 45%. Then we did with 30%, and then we checked which one is like really good. Which one can like withstand. So that instead of completely using cement, we could like use this amount of like metakaolin in it, and this amount of like alkali activated materials in it, so that overall you try to put some effort to reduce the carbon dioxide emission.
So that alternative material is safer to the earth.
It's safer to earth. Okay, if I tell whether cement is safer to earth, what would your answer be? It'll be like no, because carbon dioxide emission.
Exactly.
But then this material is better than cement, I would say.
Oh, it gives a more strength to the
product, and also it reduces carbon dioxide a bit compared to cement.
Oh yeah, because you are using less material.
Exactly.
And that will consume less. No, that will produce less carbon dioxide.
Exactly. So pretty much for the same strength, it emits less carbon dioxide.
How much reduction?
So we had like a sample test for like around very less, around like 10 to 20 specimens. And I think around 5 to 10% of reduction can be like expected.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a huge amount.
That's a huge amount.
I mean,
especially for strength characteristics. What we found out was, especially when I was doing the research, around 75% of metakaolin and 25% of like the fly ash, the other products, could attain very similar strength as that of like concrete.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not really sure about the percentage reductions for that particular compound and mix. But we had like this graph which we plotted around, during the internships, and it was I wouldn't say it's a significant, improvement, but there is some improvement. So I can definitely vouch for the fact that cementitious materials, if you put it instead of like cement, for certain percentages, it would definitely gives you the same strength and less carbon dioxide emission compared to cement.
Wow.
So yeah, so it was like a 2-month project that I did. It was full laboratory. I was morning to evening. I was entirely in the laboratory doing testing, curing, and then I was working, reading literature reviews about it. And
how many hours a day were you working?
It was like 8 hours a day. But then for certain things, for example, I had to like refill. We were doing pH tests and stuff like that. So it has like their own timings and things like that. So I just had to like, go check in, change the solutions and come back. So that thing happened. But we did the test for like continuously for 2 months, and we had like our own graphs about it. So it was a great experience for me to like go through it. And the professor was like really accommodating. He learned a lot of new things.
Who was the professor?
He's a professor in École Centrale des Nantes, the university. His name was like Emmanuel Rosaire. So he was the one who invited me for doing the internship.
Wow.
And I think that was a time when I think even France and India had a good collaboration, I guess. They were like really encouraging students to go for an exchange programs and then learning different, technological advancements in the field. So that's when I was like really into, research. I was like really into, I was loving my time. Like I got to know about the world, how these people are approaching things. And a lot of other things which were happening in the world. And the best part is like when I come back to my university and I discuss about these things, they were really proud about it, knowing about like these things are happening in the world. The professors were like really, encouraging. There was like a talk that I had with the professor about various things that's happening in the world and why can't we do it? Let's start something new. And that's when I started this student chapter for ACI in my university, in my undergrad university.
ACI?
Yeah.
American
Concrete Institute.
Exactly.
So we all participated. So I pushed this thing because let us show the world what we think about. Like we have a lot of ideas with us. Why don't we like just put it out there so that at least someone who's interested can collaborate and work with us. So I took it as a challenge in my third year. I became like the president for one of my R&D clubs at my undergrad university, which is NIT Trichy. And then over there, I created this group of people. We participated in a lot of competitions internationally. And then we also secured places. That's amazing to know.
Wow.
Yeah. So we
internationally.
Yeah. So there were like 20 teams from different countries participating in an ACI spring canoe competition.
Canoe. Okay.
Yeah, and then
I did steel, which
interesting.
with the American side of civil engineering.
Yeah. So we were there. We participated in those competitions, and I think we were like in 7th or 8th position, but it's the first time we did, and we learned a lot during the process.
Did you guys travel somewhere?
No, it was like a online competition. We had to submit a video proposal of a different type of concrete which can be used. So we did on self-healing concrete, and then we made a video about it, and then we had our interviews floating around, and then towards the end I think we won around 6th or 7th position or something.
Who were the schools? Do you remember, like from the countries?
I think from India, we were the only school which got into top 20. So they had like top 40 and top 20 and things going around. So we could only find our school name in the, that was pretty. I think that was the first time even a lot of professors didn't know about this, and then we were the first students, to initiate it.
I think because you had that much of exposure during your college year, and you brought it back, but also you didn't want to keep it to yourself. You want to spread your knowledge to your school. That made you open such a thing and spread the knowledge to your
So for me, I'd say I was more like a messenger in terms of like things in my undergrad. I grabbed a lot of information all around the world.
That's a very nice trait to have.
Yeah, and then I went into my university, and then I was like just full on spreading, and then people are also interested in learning and knowing that. and then I started a lot of things in my university, and I think towards the third year or something, I also applied to like one of the award ceremony for ASCE, and I was awarded. I was the only Indian among the 9 Americans, altogether 10 people from ASCE Collegiate Award for like promoting, being a good leadership qualities, and especially in civil engineering domain. So I was awarded in 2022. So that was a big, motivating moment for me, because coming from like a Indian background, competing it with being it like applying it to like a international, setup, and then getting like being one of the member in that top 10 awardees was like a great thing for me. It kind of really motivated me. So nobody, like, even for me, I didn't really visualize myself, going on an international platform, or like even maybe I don't know whether I'm really worth it to do that, but then it just went on just because I was really passionate about what I was doing.
Wow.
Yeah.
When did you graduate?
So I graduated 2023.
And what's the university called?
It's called as National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. We call it NITT.
That's the top 1 or 2 in India. Right?
So in NIRF ranking, it comes around top 9. It's very similar to like IITs and NITs. So IITs and NITs, we all together, we call it like in top tier 1 university. So we write this difficult exam called as JEE, Joint Entrance Examination. We have mains, we have advanced. Around like more than 10 lakh students write the exam, and only the top, 2-3 percentiles, which is like around 30,000, 10,000 to 30,000 students get into it.
How much score in high school you need to get to be able to be in such a university in India?
High school, so they have their own exam. Yeah. So it totally depends on those exams, the score that you get in that exam. So we have like 90 questions. I think 3 hours of time, and then you have to like solve each questions. You can just take like 1.5 minutes or something, then you just have to move on. So people prepare for like years for that exam. Like I know, for me, I prepared for 2 years for that particular exam.
Really?
Yeah.
Your final high school exam.
Not the final high school. It's at the same time for your final high school exam, but the final high school exam, we call it as board exam, but this is a JEE exam. It's like to enter into top tier 1 universities like IIT and NIT.
Okay.
For example, the only reason I was able to like go to different countries, do internships for free, for like fully funded, is all because I got into NIT.
Oh, really?
The other students who get into like state universities or things like that, there are very less chances that you get this exposure, So I definitely say these top tier universities definitely push you forward. They give you a lot more exposure. So it was a really roller coaster sort of journey for me. From like, like after my school time, I used to like come to my home, drop my bags, take another bag, go to coaching institute, do the all studies, and then I come back home at like 1 a.m.
Really?
Yeah. So there was like these times, for the entire 2 years I was running, hustling towards there. I had to like prepare for my high school, have to like prepare for my exam, JEE exam. So altogether, it was like a hustle. But I'm glad my parents supported really well throughout it, although they didn't have much information or much idea about what I was doing, but they were like really supportive about.
So just to recap, you for the entire 2 years used to go to school, go back home, and then go to another coaching school to be able to prepare for the exam that gets you to top 10 in universities in India.
Yeah.
And until 1 a.m.
I can go through my I vividly remember my timeline. So my school starts at around 8 a.m.
Wow.
So I have to get up early around 7 a.m. Usually people say all the smart students, they wake 5 in the morning and study, but I was in that sort of category. For me, like I study a lot during night, late nights. So I wake up at like 7 a.m. I get ready for my school, go at 8 a.m. And then the school ends at 3 a.m. So I come back to my home. I used a bike to my home, and then around 3:30, I again like start walking to my nearest bus stop, and then it's like a 1.5 hours bus ride from my home to the coaching institute. So around like 5ish, 5:30ish, the class starts and it goes till 8:39. And then to get a bus again, it's kind of difficult. So I get bus around 10, and then by the time I reach home, it'll be like 12 or 12:30 or 1.
Wow.
So every day this happens, and except and weekends we used to have all the mock tests and stuff like that for the exam.
We're talking about 18 hours of working day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
And this was in the 2 years from 11th and 12th standard in my school, and then I had to manage school as well as like the coaching institute. I think it's pretty much like most of the students go through in India of crack these difficult exams.
What was the motivation that kept you keep that such a momentum for the entire 2 years? Is it the end goal, or is it like the peer pressure, or the family pressure, or all of the above?
Interesting. For me, I think like interest was one thing that kind of like pushed me forward, because I took everything as a challenge. I was like, if people are able to do it, then why not me? Because I had my friend's brother who also got into top 10. I was like, if he's able to do it, then why not me? Like, what is different in me? I have the same brain as like other people have. So why not I take it as a challenge? So I always, for me, like I think I take everything as a challenge. I was like, if people are able to do it, then I'm like I can also do it. Like it's not that there's nothing difficult in the world that one can't do it if someone has already done it. Which means like if people have done it, then I should definitely go for it. That kept me driving. And then I also had this group. We used to solve questions, and the questions like these are like really interesting. That kept me going. Also, I'd say my family didn't know much about I'd say like these exams and stuff like that, because I had to convince my parents to join me to a coaching center, because it's not common at that particular time to join like a coaching institute apart from school. Maybe because they didn't have much exposure. Even I didn't have much exposure at the time. It's just be looking around with the friends and other people who are doing. And then I had my uncle who was like greedy. I think he was really educated, and he kind of like pushed me forward in these particular aspects, told me about what's there in the world. He also studied in this top 10 university. So
really?
Yeah.
What does he do?
So he was a PhD scholar earlier, and right now he's working in a firm. Yeah, he's working in a startup, I guess. Yeah.
Nice.
So that was one thing that kept me driving, and altogether, the entire timeline was like really perfect for me to like just not lose any hope and motivation, and that just kept me going
Was
for 2 years.
COVID hurt you a little bit in terms of college and?
Undergrad, yes. COVID 2 years of time was like a lot, but people might have like a different opinion about it. But for me, COVID was also one of the best time.
Really?
Yeah, I had, because I used entire 2 years to focus on myself. In terms of physically as well, because I think I was around 110 kgs back then.
220 pounds.
Yeah, around, more than that. And then I kind of like got back into 70 kgs. Yeah, that the 1 year. So I was doing so I was this to this. I had that entire transformation in that 2 years.
Wow.
I focused on my health. That's when I started realizing health is really important. And after that, I started going to gym and things like that. That had like a huge turn. And academically also, I was doing really well, because as I said, back in the time I used to study alone, so I got a lot of time for myself to like move forward. So yeah, so the second and third year was pretty much covered with COVID. But for me, I had an amazing time in COVID. Yeah, I really like pushed forward. I had like a
okay. Well, what do you tell the people that they were having not a good time? They having such a depression. They were feeling depressed. They were feeling isolated. They were feeling a lot of negative feeling during COVID-19. What are the keys that you can provide those people to be able to use and enhance their lifestyle? when they go through such a
Hmm.
horrible time like that.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think a lot of people were affected with COVID. Even I was, I also had a COVID for like 2 weeks. It was not a good feeling, I was
Mm.
sick. I'd say
No, I'm saying in like
in general.
spiritually speaking, or
Hmm.
like in terms of
Hmm.
feeling in general.
Yeah, overall, it's not a good feeling, but one has to realize that, like in life, there'll be like a lot of obstacles that people have, in general. It might be like your personal obstacle, it might be also like a societal obstacle. For example, COVID was one such thing which you're not facing alone, the entire world is facing, right? But one has to realize that instead of like just going through the problem, you have to find a solution to just move on with it. Because I feel like a lot of people, like if something bad happens to them, they just think about it and spend a lot of time, okay, it takes time to process, but also at the same time try to move on with it and see how could you make that particular obstacle a advantage for you,
Oh.
because that's what I think I particularly did. I know, see, for COVID, you can't go out of the house. You are like constrained. You are like, restricted towards your house, and then there's like a lot of things happening. For me, okay, for the first few weeks, it was really hard. But then I was like, okay, let me try to like, put these into a constraints and see how can I like benefit from these constraints. So I think having a positive attitude towards even the negative obstacles can like bring you forward. So affirmation, have positive affirmations. Praying and all gives you positive affirmation. So that's what I believe. So in general, I'd say even something bad happens, taking that bad thing into like a good thing is something that you could do. For example, I was watching this reel recently. So there was like a wedding ceremony happened between two people, and apparently over here, they have like a big cake cutting ceremony, right, during weddings. So a guy, they just he was just walking into the place with a huge cake. Apparently he tripped, so the entire cake fell down on the ground
In the wedding.
in the wedding. But then the groom, he was so usually people get pissed. The groom and the bride, they think, oh my god, my wedding is like, it's such a nice wedding, but then just because of the cake, it's spoiled. But the groom, he went with a spoon, he took the top part of the cake and he was celebrating. So it depends on the mentality of people, how they think. For example, that particular moment, like you feel so happy when people react in this way, because even though something bad happened, he turned into like a beautiful memory, right? So I think this goes for any problem, be it COVID or be it any other obstacle that comes in your life. You could always take that obstacle, be it negative or positive, turn into positive for your well-being. That's something that you have the control over, because he could have also been, mad. He could have also, shouted at that person who, threw the cake away, but then he took it so positively and he, enjoyed his wedding ceremony. So it's great to see people react in this way. So I think that's one of the quality that, personally, I'm trying to improve in myself, to see even negative obstacle to my advantage.
Do you also try to gain support from the environment around you, whether your family, your friends, the people around you? Do you use that as a tool to keep you motivated and keep you feeling good shape?
Yes, and no as well, because sometimes you wanted a certain way, for you to get motivated.
Mm.
So okay, I can tell you how I get motivated. So usually after third year, I started recording myself, like, yeah, recording myself in terms of like, the things I'm doing in my life. I started being very active on social media, and then I make reels about, wherever I go, what I do, small moments in life, because I really love these small memories or moments that I have. And whenever I get depressed, okay, whenever I feel like, oh shit, today's a bad day, I don't want to like do anything together, I go to my Instagram page, I just watch all the videos that I made. Okay, so I was like, oh, this time I was at this particular place, enjoying this beach, things like that. This just motivates me a lot. Just by looking at my past of what I have done to reach where I am right now. and then you're like, okay, this is not yet done. You still have like a life to go on. So this motivates me a lot. So I'd say it's a personal motivation. So
Wow.
for example, it's more like you're talking to yourself back in the time. It's more like you're taking a time machine, going back, looking at yourself, seeing how motivated you are, and coming back to the present world. Do you relate what I'm trying to say?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So the recording is more like you're going to the past and seeing what you're doing.
So it's like you are having such a gratitude moment about your past,
Exactly.
and that what makes you pushed
Mhm.
forward
Yeah.
in your
True,
present.
true. Because I feel you can get motivation in two ways. One is internal motivation and external motivation. External motivation by what you mentioned as your parents or like people around, because you always say, okay, your parents supported well, so you have to, you do something for them. So that can keep you motivated. Of course, that'll keep you motivated. But for me, internal motivation plays a huge role. Just because of the exposure I had, maybe it just always felt like I can do much more than what I'm right now. So always go back in time, think about all those memories, and then come back. So that is a good way for me to keep motivated. Maybe a lot of people could relate about it, but personally, it has a huge effect on me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So after the France internship, what did you do after that?
So I graduated and then I worked at a company called Schlumberger. It is a oil and energy industry.
That's German, right?
I think yes, he's a German, and I think the headquarters is in Houston, in US. It's a very big company. So I had my training in Abu Dhabi for like 2 months, and then post which I worked pretty much most in the northeast of India, and then Kakinada, which is in the south of India, and pretty much a few places where there is like a lot of oil in India. And then I was in like drilling a segment, drilling and measurements. So that's majorly what I was working on. And then yes, worked for like 6 months, and then post which I came here to Stanford.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you are here.
Then I'm here. Yes.
What's the journey, Abby?
So it was my first job after undergrad. I was so excited. Not technically my first job, because I also did like a part-time job in my undergrad. So I used to like solve physics questions, and then for school students. So for example, you have you seen those websites where you post a question and then people do the answer, give the answer, and
Yeah.
So I was like a tutor for that. So I was doing physics, particularly in my second year.
Wow.
And then recently, then after that, I think I got shifted into civil engineering. So I was doing this because why not? I was like really good at it, so why not use my knowledge? And then this is like official job, the first official job I had. And then during the job, I learned a lot, and then realized that this is not I really wanted in my life. So I was looking for like the alternates that I could do, and luckily I am here. So
wow,
yeah,
what a journey.
Yeah,
it's I think all India and us proud of you, and
Yeah.
to reach to this level of your life, and I can see that you are going places.
Thank you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your life story.
Yeah, always.
And I think you are provided such a positive a positive information to the people that they are watching, to be able to use those tools to in their life to make it better.
Right.
And you thank you for your time always, and to be part of our podcast deep dive.
Yeah.
And hopefully in the future, before you graduate or after you graduate, we can interview one more time and see where
Definitely.
you're at.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think
I love that.
you're gonna accomplish many things here in Stanford.
Right.
Thank you so much, Abby.
Yeah, you're always welcome. Yeah, I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for like this opportunity. Kind of like, as I said, record myself, and then after a certain point of time, you watch yourself. Like, oh my god, I was here. I was doing that. It's really crazy too.
And we are classmates, by the way.
Yeah.
You are such a great classmate,
Yeah.
man. Thank you so much, and we'll see each other
Definitely.
next time.
Yeah, sure.
See ya. Wow.
Amazing. I loved it.
What, 2 hours?
Really? I didn't even like really feel about the timings.